The Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him and his family, informed us about 3 specific supplications that, when recited consistently as a spiritual practice, not only alleviate worldly struggles, hardships, sorrows, economic constraints, and illnesses, but also grant forgiveness to the reciter. These supplications lift all kinds of troubles in both this life and the hereafter. Furthermore, they bless children with prosperity, abundance, and protection from various calamities. Dear viewers, as recorded in Sahih Bukhari and Sahih Muslim, there is a hadith that states no servant should consider themselves superior to Yunus, peace be upon him. It's worth noting that this name could refer to either his father or mother. Hazrat Yunus, peace be upon him, once boarded a ship that was heavily loaded with goods. During the journey, a lottery was drawn among the passengers, and he drew the short straw. As the ship sailed, a fierce storm arose, and the passengers feared for their lives. They began to suggest that the person chosen by the lottery should be cast into the sea to save the others. Despite their reluctance, Yunus's name was drawn 3 times. Ultimately, he, understanding the gravity of the situation, removed his clothing and willingly threw himself into the sea, even as the others tried to stop him. At that moment, Almighty Allah commanded a great fish in the depths of the ocean to swallow Yunus, ensuring that he remained unharmed. Inside the belly of the fish, Yunus initially believed he had met his end, but upon realizing he was still alive, he began to pray fervently to Allah. He declared, "O my Lord, I have constructed a mosque for you in a place that no one has ever reached." Yunus spent time in the fish's belly, whether it was for 3 days, 7 days, or even 40 days, because had he not been among those who often remembered Allah through righteous deeds and worship, he would have remained there until the day of resurrection. In one hadith, it is reported that Sayyidina ibn Abbas, may Allah be pleased with him, said, "Worship Allah in times of ease, and he will assist you in times of hardship." It is also said that had Yunus not been steadfast in prayer, and had he not recited the words, "There is no deity but you. Glory be to you. Indeed, I was among the wrongdoers," he would have remained trapped in the fish's belly. Allah mentions in the Quran that he called out from the depths of darkness, and he accepted his prayer and delivered him from his grief, demonstrating his mercy towards the believers. In a narration from Ibn Abihatim, when Yunus made his supplication inside the fish, his plea ascended to the throne of Allah, even though it was distant. The angels recognized the voice and were informed it belonged to Yunus, whose good deeds and supplications were familiar to them. Allah declared, "This is my servant Yunus. He remembered me during prosperity. Therefore, now that he calls upon me in distress, I will surely have mercy upon him." As a result, Allah commanded the fish to release Yunus onto dry land. Upon his arrival ashore, weakened and ill, Allah caused a gourd plant to grow over him for shade. Additionally, he appointed a wild goat to provide him with milk daily. According to Tafsir ibn Jarir al-Tabari, this event is described in detail, stating that Yunus was cast onto barren land devoid of vegetation, where he was as weak as a newborn chick. The pumpkin vine, known for its rapid growth and numerous benefits, offered him shade and sustenance during his recovery. In Sahih Hadith Bukhari, it is noted that the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, had a fondness for pumpkin and would select it from his dish. Subsequently, Yunus was sent as a messenger to a populace exceeding 100,000. It is noted by Sayyidina ibn Abbas that he had not previously held the rank of messenger, while another opinion suggests by Mujahid indicates that he had already been sent as a prophet before his ordeal with the fish. This leads to a consensus that he was sent once and then again after the people acknowledged and believed in him. The Quran tells us that no nation benefited from their faith after facing punishment except for the people of Yunus. When they believed, Allah lifted their punishment and granted them respite. The Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him and his family, imparted 3 significant supplications, the first of which is the most notable, the invocation of Yunus made while trapped inside the fish's belly. This supplication holds great significance and acceptance before Allah. According to a blessed hadith, the Prophet said to his companions, "Shall I inform you of the greatest name of Allah by which he responds when called upon?" This dua is the one made by Yunus in darkness. There is no deity but you. Glory be to you. Indeed, I was among the wrongdoers. This invocation has been cherished by the righteous and frequently recited. Understanding the value of this verse, particularly in light of our daily shortcomings and trials, one should recite this ayah regularly. It promises success, progress, and the removal of obstacles in one's path, ensuring that heartfelt prayers are accepted. It is advisable to recite this prayer 100 times daily, beginning and ending with Darood salutation upon the Prophet, and including additional Darood if possible. The second prayer taught by the Prophet, peace be upon him, is narrated by Hazrat Anas, may Allah be pleased with him. It is said that whenever the Prophet faced challenges, pain, fear, or sorrow, he would recite, O ever-living, O sustainer of all, I seek help through your mercy. This supplication, recorded in Mishkat Sharif, incorporates two beautiful names of Allah, Al-Hay the ever-living and Al-Qayyum the sustainer. The Prophet stated that these names belong to Ism, the most comprehensive name of Allah, and any supplication made in conjunction with them is accepted. Thus, one who incorporates this dua into their daily routine will find their needs fulfilled and worries alleviated through Allah's blessings. The pious have advised that during times of difficulty, one should consistently recite this dua, whether standing, sitting, or walking. Those who make it a daily practice, aiming for at least 100 recitations, will find their troubles resolved and their matters sorted by Allah's mercy. This supplication is highly virtuous and filled with blessings, promising safety from all forms of grief for you and your children. The third invocation taught by our beloved Prophet, peace be upon him, is narrated by Hazrat Ibn Abbas, may Allah be pleased with him. When Namrud cast Prophet Ibrahim, peace be upon him, into the fire, he called upon Allah using these words, also found in the Quran. This invocation was similarly articulated by the Prophet Muhammad when the Quraysh assembled a formidable army against the Muslims, which only strengthened their faith. In response, they declared, Allah is sufficient for us, and He is the best disposer of affairs. Sahih Bukhari. Dear brothers and sisters in faith, these prayers conveyed by the Prophet, peace be upon him, are not just powerful spiritual practices, but also elicit great rewards for worship. There is no need to seek out amulets or visit those who engage in superstitious practices, as these actions can waste your time and money and may even jeopardize your faith by leading towards non-Islamic rituals. Dear friends, when the inhabitants of paradise eventually enter Jannah at Allah's command, they will experience no regrets, sorrow, pain, animosity, or grudges, except for one, the regret that any moment of their earthly existence was spent without remembering Allah. They will long for the time they wasted without His remembrance. Allahu Akbar. Consider the fate of those who spent their lives neglecting to remember Allah. They will undoubtedly be filled with remorse, wishing they had never existed or been born. On that day, they will mourn, saying they wish they had not befriended those who diverted them from the remembrance of Allah, wishing they had chosen companions who reminded them of Him. The righteous friends of Allah embody such noble and spiritual qualities that merely witnessing them instills a remembrance of Allah within others. Be aware, dear viewers, that the companions of the Prophet, peace be upon him, often formed circles to engage in dhikr remembrance of Allah with heartfelt devotion, swaying back and forth in joy. This practice is documented in authentic hadiths where the Prophet encouraged us to remember Allah profusely, to the extent that onlookers might utter, "This person is mad," or "This is mere ostentation." Even if such ecstatic states seem challenging, strive to fill your life with the remembrance of Allah. Remain diligent in your prayers and witness how Allah transforms your challenges into ease, showering you with mercy and blessings, for ultimately, all strength and power belong solely to Allah. We beseech Allah, the Most Merciful, to grant us the ability to listen, comprehend, and act upon this message of goodness, accepting both my speech and your attentive listening. Ameen. Dear viewers, I kindly urge you to like and share this informative video and to subscribe to my Islamic and Reformative channel. May Allah be our protector and helper.